Hi, and thank you so much for joining us today. We've seen innovation accelerate across practically every industry where services are traditionally delivered in a field setting. For example, remote or virtual support channels were adopted out of necessity as we navigated the global pandemic, and for many, these have now become a permanent fixture. In asset-driven industries, subscription-based or as-a-service models that rely on connected assets with remote monitoring to predict and prevent downtime are rapidly becoming mainstream. This next phase of digital transformation in field service is so exciting. But even as technology changes how we think about service, one enduring fact remains. At its core, service is driven by people. And when you improve the experience for everyone involved, we all win. The service experience you provide your customers is directly tied to their perception of your brand, as well as their willingness to continue doing business with you. And to serve customers effectively, we need equipped, knowledgeable, and engaged mobile workforces. By setting these crucial teams up for success, we foster employee loyalty, we drive collaboration, and we catalyse growth. And this is what we're here to talk about today, how to elevate the customer and employee experience. I am thrilled to be joined by a fantastic group of field service thought leaders and subject matter experts to discuss this topic over the next hour and offer you some actionable ideas to help you deliver remarkable experiences. So let's get going. I thought a good place to start would be to look at how we keep score in service delivery, and specifically across the customer and employee experience. We are so excited to be joined by John Carroll to share some of the insights and trends he and his team at the Service Council have discovered during their research and interactions with service leaders around the evolution of customer and employee experience metrics and the role they play for best-in-class service organisations. John, fantastic to see you. Thank you for joining us. Over to you.
Employee experience and customer experience are now a C-level and board-level imperative. And how are we responding to those changes that we've witnessed? Digital transformation initiatives are being advanced. The customer employee is being centralized in those digital transformation initiatives. And technicians and engineers and customer support agents are becoming much more important and critical in the customer journey. From an employee perspective, service leaders, in terms of their persona and their objectives, are changing. Their agendas are changing. The key challenges that they're facing are evolving. According to the recent benchmark survey, the Service Leaders Agenda conducted by the Service Council, service leaders cite supply chain disruptions as the #1 external challenge, cost and profit pressures as the #2 challenge, and capacity and workforce management availability challenges as the #3 challenge. The #1 internal challenge are capacity challenges, the hunt and quest for talent. That's signaled and fueled by two critical transformations that are happening right before our eyes. One of which is the silver tsunami continues to accelerate and expand in terms of its impact to available knowledge. The Great Resignation has also supplemented that aging workforce and silver tsunami in terms of challenging service leaders for available talent. And while recent statistics suggest that the Great Resignation has perhaps tampered a little bit, according to the Service Council's Voice of the Field Service Engineer survey, 60% of technicians ages 25 to 44, which typically represents about 75% of a service workforce, do not plan to be a technician or an engineer for the duration of their career. Technicians need information, and they need intelligence, and they need to be empowered in order to be effective. What does the technician and frontline service agent want? They want customer history. They want asset history. They want manuals and pre-briefs on service visits. They want knowledge-based articles. They also want the empowerment of being able to order parts in the field or perhaps amend and initiate adjacent work orders based on what they experience and encounter with the customer. According to the Voice of the Field Service Engineer survey from 2021, 91% of technicians agree that there is greater knowledge requirements in their job. 89% agree that there's more technical skill set requirements, and 3 out of 4, or 75%, agree that products are more complex. And what do they dislike about the job? They dislike paperwork and administrative tasks, which typically is about 20% of their daily tasks. When technicians and agents in the field are stuck, what are they doing? 80% of the time, they're phoning a friend. And that is a critical challenge among service leaders to help address, because what that does is it really halts productivity and effectiveness in the field, but it also takes up and ties up 2 technicians when that happens. For an example, if you have 500 technicians or frontline agents or field service engineers, and 20% of that workforce gets stuck on a daily basis, 1 out of 5, and each time they get stuck, they spend 15 minutes in terms of the phone call duration when they do call a friend, a colleague. That equates to a $1,000 cost strain on your service organization on a daily basis per technician. From the customer's perspective, customers are evolving considerably. Their channel preference is changing. Many customers are seeking self-service and knowledge portals to solve issues that they have, a do-it-yourself or a DIY experience. They're also seeking digital-first or remote assistance channels before having a technician dispatched. Consumerization continues to happen at a very rapid pace across many business-to-business sectors. Thanks to Uber and Amazon and even Domino's Pizza, if you can track and trace your pizza from order through build to delivery and consumption, well then you expect the same experience in a business setting. Recently, the Service Council conducted an annual survey called the KPI and Metrics Survey. We benchmarked over 100 service leaders. From a prioritization standpoint, we asked service leaders to prioritize 1 through 5, 1 being the most important. What are the metrics that are of most focus for you in 2022? Service leaders chose customer metrics as number 1, followed by revenue metrics, followed by cost metrics. Those 3 metrics are typically 1, 2, and 3, and they flip-flop on an annual basis. The Service Council has cited this whole notion of smarter services, creating a harmonious balance between those 3 forces. Number 4 metric of prioritization were employee metrics. And 5 were supply chain. I think what was most shocking and revealing from those observations was number 4, employee metrics. With all the talk of employee challenges, the Great Resignation, mental health and wellness challenges, safety challenges, the challenge of knowledge exodus with the silver tsunami and the retiring workforce leaving the workplace, it was shocking that employee metrics was number 4 out of 5 metrics. As we look at the priority of metrics in the customer area, we asked service leaders to prioritize their go-to metrics within that realm. The top 3 customer metrics were not really that shocking. Customer satisfaction continues to be the number 1 metric of choice. We asked service leaders to prioritize customer metrics that were of utmost importance to them. The number 1 customer metric was CSAT, unshockingly. Organizations will continue to plug in with their customers with transactional and relationship surveys and the CSAT area. The number 2 metric of choice was Net Promoter Score. And while it's often debated whether or not it's flawed, it will continue to be an important metric for organizations. Customer retention was the number 3 metric. And one of the things that is starting to play out in our minds as we look at the research data is that we're moving towards a leading metric orientation versus a lagging metric orientation. Retention is really the effect, it's not the causal factor to customer challenges. And so many service leaders are starting to turn their attention towards customer effort. If you think about how difficult or how easy it is for a customer to seek and receive support, that's an important part of the journey. When they need something, they want it, and they want it quickly. So organizations are turning towards building an agile and an accessible platform for customers to engage. Looking at omni-channel and going back to understanding where and how are customers seeking support and service, whether it's via the web, via technical support, via a dispatch-centric methodology or a field service basis, or some other channel. If you think about leading versus lagging metrics, effect metrics are really lagging metrics. It's the outcome. The causal factors are those leading metrics that are causing the issues within that customer journey. And we would encourage service leaders to turn their attention towards those leading metrics, the customer effort orientation, or the why factor, in terms of why customers are challenged when they seek support and service from their provider. When we turn our attention towards the employee side, there's really no shocker in terms of what service leaders are prioritizing in terms of employee metrics. Employee engagement is number 1, followed by retention, with number 3 being safety and mental health and wellness. One of the observations we have from the employee metric side is that we're seeing an evolution in a parallel of employee satisfaction transcending across the same evolution that customer metrics have. Customer metrics have transcended from customer satisfaction to customer effort, and we're seeing the same thing happen within the employee journey. We are encouraging service leaders to consider building an element of employee effort into their employee metrics side of their business, understanding the employee's journey. The difficulties and challenges of being a frontline field service technician continue to rise. It's a very rigorous world that they compete in and deliver their jobs in. It's also a very challenging world with respect to what they're encountering in the customer sentiment. Oftentimes they're walking into a very challenging situation with a customer, and so the effort to resolve those issues continues to rise. I would encourage service leaders to consider some of the trends and opportunities to improve upon the customer experience as well as the employee experience that we reviewed during my discussion today.
Thank you so much, John. Such a tremendous insight and the perfect way to set the stage for the rest of today's session. Let's keep going and explore a topic that is often cited as the #1 differentiator for service organisations: customer experience. The explosion of consumer apps for services such as taxi sharing and food delivery has raised expectations for speed, visibility and control across all service-driven industries. This shift in consumer behaviour is forcing service teams to find that optimal balance of responsiveness and flexibility without impacting their customers or adding cost, which is certainly a challenge for service organisations without the right tools in place. I've asked my colleagues John and Andy to share their perspectives on this topic, and then we'll hear how one of our customers is making customer experience a key differentiator in their business. John, it's so good to see you. Tell me, what are your thoughts on this dynamic of the customer experience?
Hello, everyone. We work with field service organizations all over the world, and many of them share a common goal: complete scheduling, automation, and optimization to further enhance the customer experience by improving on-time arrivals, scheduling flexibility, the accuracy of travel time, time to service, and the number of jobs completed per day. Having a field service solution to help you plan and automate the scheduling of your mobile workers based on your unique business requirements ensures you spend more time focusing on high-value tasks for your customers. Oracle Field Service was built with this in mind and uses a patented, time-based approach to scheduling, powered by machine learning and artificial intelligence to optimize scheduling at massive scale. However, there are simply times when no matter what automation is in place, manual intervention is required. People get sick. There are weather delays and traffic delays. Your customer needs to reschedule, just to name a few. When these events happen, and as much as we try to minimize them, they will happen. Being able to respond quickly is crucial. This is why Oracle Field Service incorporates the same intelligent scheduling capabilities to help guide users with assignment decisions when there is a need for manual scheduling. Recently, we introduced the Assignment Assistant feature to not only simplify the manual assignment experience, but also to understand at a glance the impact that these scheduling changes will have on the business. This feature intelligently guides users through the entire assignment process, with visual indicators helping to suggest the most optimal resources available, show the impact this assignment has on the schedule, and flag any scheduling violations that may occur. Things like missing the committed service time, the impact on the remaining schedule, there is required inventory missing, risking a return trip. There's a chance this move will result in overtime, as well as any other rules that you've established. The assignment assistant also allows users to select reasons as to why the scheduling decision was made. This is easily configurable to follow the guidelines of your business. Capturing the reasons behind manual assignments allows for an accurate audit trail and helps supervisors and managers understand the reasons why manual intervention is needed, providing valuable insight into trends around why these changes are occurring. Capturing this data helps to identify areas for improvement, and users can incorporate these findings to update their routing configurations, minimizing the need for manual intervention in the future. The Assignment Assistant is a powerful component of Oracle Field Services' automated scheduling engine and benefits users by intelligently assisting with manual assignments, ensuring the entire process is easy to use, reduces the time spent scheduling work, and helps mobile workforces to be more efficient by incorporating the same patented artificial intelligence and machine learning technology to help guide users every step of the way. But scheduling or rescheduling field service work doesn't end once the appointment has been assigned. In fact, ensuring your customers are informed throughout the entire service lifecycle is critical. So let's hear from Andy to learn how Oracle Field Service shows real-time appointment visibility and allows instant service feedback to elevate the customer experience. Andy, take it away.
Thank you, John. I absolutely love the Assignment Assistant. It's so intuitive to use, and it improves manual scheduling for the dispatcher, aligning with the company's key missions. Absolutely brilliant. So I'm here with you all virtually today to talk about a capability that, as an end customer, I enjoy the most, as it gives us as customers some sense of control over the service engagement. It's called Where is My Technician? And as the name suggests, it helps to improve the engagement and the communication. Where is My Technician allows us, as users of field service, to improve visibility of the technician or service staff and the customer experience whilst they're waiting for us to arrive. We can provide to the customer before and on the day of the appointment a unique tracking web page which they can open on their computer or phone, an estimated time of arrival, optionally the name of and photo of the technician due, an ability for the customer to interact via chat feature to reschedule if they need to, cancel the visit completely, or even send a message to the technician, and an Uber-like experience of the technician's travel route and arrival time. Let's say, for example, you're having some issues with your internet, something I'm sure we've all had during lockdown, and you contact your service provider by phone to ask them to investigate and resolve the issue. After they've identified you and they carry out a couple of quick checks via their connected platform, they can confirm that this is not a wider connected issue, but only on the junction box that connects you and 5 of your neighbours. They offer you a service for first thing tomorrow morning, which you accept, and almost as soon as the call is wrapping up and they've confirmed with you your email address, you can see on your phone that you've received an email confirming the booking for tomorrow morning between 8:30 and 10:30. When you click the link in the email, you're pleased to see all the details you've confirmed with the agent, and you can also see that Martin will be your technician tomorrow, and there's even a photo of Martin, which makes you feel secure knowing that you're not inviting a total stranger into the house. The next morning comes around, and without thinking, you leave the house to walk the kids to school. And whilst out, you think, I'm out now, I'll just pop to the supermarket for some bread and milk. No sooner than you've started off towards the shops, you receive a follow-up text message from your service provider reminding you that Martin is on his way to you and will be arriving in the next 25 minutes. Phew, you completely forgot about that appointment. Imagine dealing with the kids a second day if you miss the appointment and Martin's not able to repair your internet service just because you're a little forgetful. You turn around and head home in time to see the service van pulling in as you come around the corner. As a service business, implementing such a solution, we find that we have happier customers as they feel in control, and happier technicians, as there's nothing worse than seeing you have a full schedule and yet when you turn up for a job, the customer is not home. With Where Is My Technician, we can allow customers to communicate a change, like a cancellation, giving us a window of time to pull other services forward without losing precious and expensive time. Going back to the scenario I just painted, we can also be confident as an organisation that we're going to be receiving happier customer feedback and improved customer relationships, as there's an option in Where Is My Technician to turn in customer star ratings and feedback. If we get a low rated feedback, we can even have a digital assistant or chat ask the customer some follow-up questions to understand how we can do a better job next time. Where Is My Technician is another awesome feature to take advantage of during your cycle of communication with the end customer, and the URL and other properties of data, like the technician's photo, can be passed out of field service straight to your marketing platform. So if you have some nicely branded emails or an email template, they can be embedded and sent straight to your customers before the appointment and leading up to the engagement. But let's not just hear this from me. I'm going to hand back to John now, who's lined up an interview with one of our customers, who's been using this capability successfully from almost the first day this feature became available. John, back to you.
Thanks, Andy. I'm back chatting with John from Windstream. John, thanks for joining.
Thanks for having me.
So let's go ahead and get started. I know we've talked with you before, but for those new to Windstream, can you give us an overview of your business, what you do, and who you serve?
Sure. So Windstream is a software and communications company. On our consumer side, we're in 18 different states, providing gigabit level service. On our enterprise side, we offer a lot of software-based solutions, UCaaS, SD-WAN, and multi-gigabit connections to some very large enterprise customers. Windstream has been really fortunate to have a great partner in Oracle with Oracle Field Service. It's a terrific platform that's allowed us to keep our customers first and foremost, our customer experience great, but also keep our technicians productive. So in our roadmap for customer experience, we were offering an appointment reminder, a reminder of when that technician was going to arrive, that the customer could select at the point of sale. Even with these, we were still finding that there was a gap. And that's where Where's My Tech has really helped us to kind of bridge that gap, to provide that additional level of detail to the customer that they needed. Along with implementation, you know, we already had the communication piece. We also already had the GPS along with that. Really, it's turnkey after that. You turn it on, and now the customer is going to receive those communications through that same communication system, providing that GPS that we already had access to from the technician. One of the most common words that we see used ever since the adoption of Where's My Tech is just how easy the whole process is. From selecting that appointment to getting the reminders about the appointment that are very consistent with that messaging of when the appointment time is, to now having a way to see that appointment in real time, track the technician all the way to your home. We've always been using a technician-triggered message for that On My Way. With En Route, it turns it into an actual legitimate status. So now a customer service rep can see that the technician is en route. We can also now prevent any changes or a cancellation of that dispatch prior to talking to that technician. Oracle has a real commitment to constant improvement of the product. We have a great collaboration with the Oracle Center of Excellence, with the product management team, and really everyone in Oracle to not only use a great product, but to make the product better.
John, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
Welcome back. It is always exciting to hear how our customers are innovating for their customers. And thank you again to John for sharing Windstream's story. Next up, we're talking about the face of your business, your mobile workforce. You see, for many of your customers, mobile workers are the only customer representatives they will interact with directly. And, as we heard earlier, the impact of having an engaged, well-equipped and fully supported field service is massive. I am delighted to be joined by a team of experts to discuss and share how service teams can empower their mobile workforces with powerful capabilities that improve the employee experience, drive successful outcomes, and grow service revenue. I am delighted to welcome Jane, who is going to talk about a very popular topic these days, guided workflows. Jane, so great to see you. Over to you.
Field service organizations are always looking for innovative ways to elevate their service delivery, to anticipate new customer expectations, and further empower their mobile workforce. Globally, we are seeing several emerging trends among field service organizations that can make delivering consistent service a challenge. Products and services are continuing to become more complex, and this complexity has created a significant gap in necessary work skills. The lack of real-time knowledge and effective onboarding has led to inexperienced and undertrained employees operating in the field. And with the shrinking pool of field resources due to retirements and more frequent job changes, the shortage of employees has led to an increased reliability on third-party subcontractors to meet service demand. As your field service business continues to grow, so does the need for competent and knowledgeable service professionals. However, training and onboarding takes up valuable time, and new employees need clear guidance while on-site with your customers, especially when completing complex jobs. To help field service organizations overcome these challenges, we've recently introduced a new feature in Oracle Field Service designed to visually guide your employees in the field through every step of the service process, Workflow Manager. Workflow Manager is an incredibly useful feature that enables standardized and pre-configured workflows, guiding your mobile workforce with a visual step-by-step process when completing on-site work, all while extending visibility into their overall progress. These steps and instructions ensure your users are compliant with the defined rules and requirements unique to your business. So how does Workflow Manager benefit your business? Well, it ensures safety and compliance so that critical safety protocols are followed and all required data gets captured from the field. It also improves job competency by quickly familiarizing new employees with routine tasks, providing specific instructions so they can learn on the job without extensive training. Workflows encourage consistent service delivery and standardized support across your entire field service organization, including new and subcontracted employees. It enhances the employee experience by simplifying complex tasks and data collection. And additionally, it helps turn service interactions into potential sales opportunities by providing a prescriptive process on how to upsell while on site. With real-time visibility, managers and dispatchers gain insight into the service progress for any type of work. And of course, Workflow Manager also enhances the customer experience because your employees can complete services faster and on their first visit. Workflow Manager is a great tool to equip your mobile resources with, empowering them to consistently provide high quality service in the field. If you're already an Oracle Field Service customer, you can enable Workflow Manager today. But there are also many other productivity tools that help mobile workers complete service activities successfully. Let's hear from Faiza about how real-time collaboration and on-demand knowledge tools also elevate the employee experience. Faiza, over to you.
Thank you, Jane. Jane just showed you how Workflow Manager guides your hybrid workforce throughout the work order completion process. Goal is to empower your field resources with the information and support they need to assist your customers anytime, anywhere, when your customer expectations are all-time high. Your customers expect first-time resolution and on-demand services in a highly competitive market when they have various options to choose from. In order to meet their demands and complex workflows, field service companies need to tap into a broad base of diverse resources. These resources include full-time and part-time company employees, as well as contractors and infrequent workers. This hybrid workforce must have all the relevant information available to them in real time to ensure they are able to successfully complete the work in timely manner. Let's go over how some resources and tools such as knowledge management and team collaboration can set you up for field service success. Field resources using Oracle Field Service have access to relevant customer and work order information, including order details, history, assets, inventory, and any information required to perform this service. Here, they can also access knowledge articles and files directly from within the screen. Notice the Knowledge tab is automatically displaying the relevant documents based on the work order type, so the technician doesn't have to look for them. However, typing keywords would bring up the relevant articles, help files, and troubleshooting videos as well. They can also filter the contents of these search results. Oracle Field Service customers utilize Knowledge to also share step-by-step process guides, safety information, compliance guidelines, and any specific design and process documents. This out-of-the-box solution is designed to improve user experience. It ensures mobile resources of any type have access to relevant information on site so they can complete the work correctly and on time. Knowledge sharing is not limited to articles and help files. Oracle Field Service provides collaboration tools that help connect technicians and crews with the managers, back office, and dispatch teams. The unique capabilities of collaboration functionality not only supports one-on-one, group, and help desk chats, but also provides field resources with the ability to find any nearby field technicians or even parts and inventory that they might need along their routes. Broadcast support allows users to reach an entire organization or a select group to get important messages out fast. It improves productivity with direct role-based communication and information access between different resources. Oracle Field Service customers also use the collaboration tool to broadcast work orders to selected resources. These resources are selected based on the defined business rules, such as contractors only or resources who have 5-star ratings. Here, technicians can review the order and accept it. Once assigned, the entire work order details are available to them. Documentation, images, and any work order information is also shared via one-on-one, group chat, or help desk. These tools also help bring new employees and contractors up to speed quickly by easily connecting them with their supervisors via video chat. Instead of sending a supervisor on site to verify a new employee's work, supervisors can verify the work via video. It just makes it easier for both of them to complete the review and verification process quickly. The collaboration tool does not only streamline communication in the field, but it also maintains an accurate record of field interactions, including work order and inventory changes. Make it easier for your staff to work together with collaboration tools accessed inside Oracle Field Service application. At the same time, utilize digital assistance via collaboration to provide immediate and actionable information for field resources to perform work successfully without any dependencies on back office. Between video and text collaborations, access to peer and back-end generated knowledge articles, and even chatbots, real-time support via Oracle Field Service is plentiful and intuitively accessible for any type of field resources. When you provide readily available tools to your mobile resources, not only you increase employee satisfaction, but also drive higher customer satisfaction and retention. We briefly discussed parts and assets earlier. Next, we will discuss how field resources are quickly able to find the required parts to complete their work on time and provide first-time resolution.
So Jeff, what is that you're carrying around there?
This? Well, this is a spare part or a spare component because, you know what, if there's a high-value asset out there and it breaks, you got to have one of these handy to keep it up and running, otherwise you're going to be losing money.
That makes sense, but it doesn't seem very practical.
You know what? It probably isn't, but a field service junkie like yourself knows that most field service technicians will carry the most used parts on their truck or van. However, if you need something specialized like this, you might have to go out and look for one or locate it, and that's what I'm going to show you right now. Let's go back into the field where one of our heroes has determined that they need to order a part that is not in their vehicle or readily accessible. Well, they can simply open the shopping cart, and then they can search for the part they need. That looks like the right one. Once they select that part, well, where do we want to have that shipped? Let's send it right to the customer site, and boom, done. Just like ordering anything online, only simpler. Anyone who has ever ordered something online can use this functionality without any training. If they haven't ordered online, well, they've likely been living under a rock, like my friend Will here.
I do live under a rock, you're right.
Yeah. Well, you know, Will, the exact same functionality can also be used to make the cash register ring. Let me pivot to a completely different use case. As we know, there is massive pressure throughout every service organization to transform from a cost center and into a profit center. The same parts ordering functionality can be used to capture additional revenues right at the customer site. With one more easy step, a field resource can capture the credit card information directly from the customer. This removes the need for complicated invoicing and makes the whole purchase process very familiar for the customer. Upon the completion of the transaction, the customer can receive a notification or confirmation of their order directly via Where's My Tech.
Okay, so you've explained how we can order parts and even sell parts in the field. However, what if I need something like right now?
Yeah, like the fix has to be done today. You cannot wait for a part to be shipped to you or to order it. Well, actually, Oracle Field Service allows you to phone a friend. And in this case, you can actually search the vans or trucks of your coworkers. And look here, a good friend of ours has the part we need and they're actually close by. Now all we must do is a simple push button to contact the technician through a text messaging scenario. We can arrange a rendezvous or meet up, maybe we meet for lunch at the taco stand or whatever, exchange the part, and that part is also exchanged through the same text messaging interface. And there you have it. Everyone is getting the right part. It doesn't need to be complicated for your team or for your customers. Just deploy the technology that everyone is familiar with and you'll get the results you want.
And all that interaction and all that work also flows right back into ERP. Those parts and where they exist, all confirmed all the way back.
Yeah, it's completely reconciled at the end of the day and everything is locked down. So we don't need to carry these around with us anymore.
That's cool.
Now, Will, I mentioned though, we want our field teams no longer to be cost centers, but to also be profit centers. And you have something to show us about this, don't you?
No, this is pretty exciting. For more than 15 years, Oracle Field Service has been making field service organizations faster and more efficient. It's still your technicians, it's still a field service organization, but through our partnership, those technicians are able to get more done in a day, and the total infrastructure that is needed is also dramatically reduced. I liken it to an exoskeleton that enables workers to go further than they have in the past. What I want to propose today is the next generation of that effort. We're going to talk about how we can keep technicians' efficiency high while also enabling them to become better sellers through the support of systems. The technicians by themselves are very capable. The suit by itself is useless. But together, the two are stronger, faster, arguably unstoppable, and providing a competitive advantage. I remember talking with one field service customer years ago about these yellow pieces of paper that technicians used to give to customers along with their installation sign-off sheet to enable an upsell. The technicians didn't really have to say anything. They just gave the customer the promotion with their documentation, and the customer had to flip through that yellow piece of paper before they could sign that the work was complete. This is the same basic practice with the power of cloud computing behind it. Why is this worth doing? How can we get there, and what are the next steps? Let's take a look. Let's say you're a medium-sized provider in the US with maybe 8,000 field technicians. If you increase the daily margin on additional products you sell by $100 per technician, that would result in 800,000 additional margin dollars per day. Again, we're not trying to make the field service technicians salesmen. We're just enabling the technology around them to support a sale. And the more we can do that, the greater the value to the organization. Could you imagine a field service organization as a profit center? Now, let's think about training. So that a technician can answer questions about a product and perform installations, you could provide training as a specific activity that is there when there's white space on a route. Now think about routing. One of the easiest things to observe about a customer profile in a prospect is their likelihood to purchase an upsell. It's also a really easy metric to observe a technician's ability to enable a sale. But sending a technician who's unlikely to enable a sale to a customer who is likely to purchase is just leaving money on the table. We do this all the time today because it's not a factor in how we typically manage field organizations. But what gets measured gets done, and once you start building a day around enabling sales, the changes will come. Now think about next best offer and how data models using all your customer attributes could help a customer's history build into tailored offerings. And then if you could offer a web commerce site and offer a pre-arrival purchase so that the customer can come and purchase something before the technician arrives, and then have a focus with same-day upsells around those products the technicians already have in their inventory. Now, think about customer notifications. You typically get 3 of these before the technician arrives. So along with a "Where's my tech" notification, you could start providing next best offer recommendations, and the software would observe with each of them how the customer interacts with them to enrich the data so that it can provide a better offer with each subsequent interaction and improve that proposal. Now, technicians have a lot of different products they sell. Many field organizations have 20 to 40 different products that they promote. What would it mean to your field organization to be able to dig into your customers' data and begin to accurately identify which products each customer would likely want, and then be able to create in-home offerings around those products and services? This is exactly where Oracle's platform is going. Just listen to how Larry Ellison describes engineered selling.
We think sales automation should help you sell more, not forecast better. And now we're giving you integrated suites of products where all the pieces fit together, and those products are now tailored for your specific industry.
Wow, what a powerful set of innovative capabilities to improve the employee experience. Thank you so much, Jane, Faiza, Jeff, and Will, for sharing. But now I'm very excited to welcome Victor. Victor's going to show us how the many different topics we've explored today come together to deliver seamless, connected, remarkable experiences for everyone in the service lifecycle. Victor, I know it's a big ask, but can you show us, what does the connected field service experience look like?
Hello, everyone. My name is Victor Domich from Oracle Solution Engineering. And today I will show you how you can empower your key field service users with remarkable experiences and drive improvements to customer loyalty and employee engagement. So let's start with Lisa. Lisa is a facilities operations manager, and as such, her main focus is ensuring her assets are up and operating efficiently. She also manages multiple sites, so she needs the flexibility to manage her assets from anywhere, another site, her home, or even at her daughter's softball game. So this is where the story picks up. Lisa is currently on call at her daughter's softball game when she receives an alert on her phone from one of her power generation vendors, Supremo Solar. She notices that this is a notification around one of her UPS substations that has a backup battery performing below expectations. Since this asset is still functioning, she determines that this is not urgent and would like to see if she can solve the issue remotely before sending a technician. She loves how she can manage her entire install base from the palm of her hand, and she leverages an AI-enhanced conversational experience to guide her through a remote troubleshoot. She sees that a restart and power cycle is the recommended action to take. Since that didn't solve the root problem, her next recommended action is to schedule a service visit for replacement. She is given multiple options to schedule and is delighted by the fact that she can choose a time that will be more cost efficient and will conveniently work with planned downtime. From her corner of the world and on an important day for her and her family, she loves how she can conquer the unexpected with a prescriptive self-service experience, all without missing a single swing of the bat. The day of her service visit, Lisa is proactively notified of her appointment time. If necessary, here she can choose to cancel her appointment or even engage a chatbot if she wanted to change it. But since her day is going as anticipated, she remains committed to the agreed time. She is once again notified when her technician, Anton, is en route to her site. Before he arrives, she sends a note to him that ensures he knows what part of the building he needs to go in for check-in. She is happy to know when he has arrived so that she can promptly receive him. Lisa enjoyed the fact that this was a familiar experience and felt similar to the way her favorite ride-sharing app behaves. More importantly, she appreciates how this experience digitally engaged her at key moments and eliminates the need to call customer support asking where her technician is. By empowering her with experiences designed to conquer the unexpected and take control of her scheduling activities, she knows her facilities will be operating smoothly, which builds loyalty towards her vendor. Now let's switch over to Anton, our field technician. Anton heard about how great the quality of life was at Supremo Solar and moved over from a competitor earlier this year. So he has the relevant experience, but still very new to the organization. As a new technician, his focus is to get up to speed and become independent as quickly as possible. So let's pick up where we left off in this story. Anton has just arrived on site at one of Lisa's facilities, and he is ready to begin his first service action. Since he is new, he does not know the specifics around this customer's work protocols, but is relieved that he has a guided workflow tailored to the customer's requirements that can guide him to the next best step of the work order. Before Anton can start working, he sees he needs to validate that this is a safe working environment. Once confirmed, he's presented with his work list and can begin replacing the battery. As Anton completes his work list, he loves how his intelligent execution experience has enabled him to add value early because it has led to him spending less time on his phone hunting for information and more time behind the wrench where he can leverage his previous experience. By utilizing the dynamic nature of guided workflows to intelligently execute work, Anton has been enabled to hack his previous field service experience and subsequently accelerate his speed to competency. Anton notices that the part that is being recommended is a newer model than what he has previously used, and there's a clear knowledge gap preventing him from safely installing it. Now, if this happened at his last job with his now competitor, he would either have to call around and hope a more knowledgeable tech had the bandwidth to assist him on site, or just reschedule the visit for another day with someone more experienced. Luckily, he joined the winning team at Supremo because he can leverage on-demand knowledge to upskill on the fly, or even ask for some remote support from a dedicated back office technician like Billy. After 30 years of working in the field and the physical toll that takes, Billy has been transferred to a new role where he can continue supporting his team by sharing his wealth of knowledge, all from the comfort of his home. As he begins exchanging the batteries with Billy's assistance, he discovers that a potential source for failure was due to a leak, causing corrosion damage. Based off seeing many similar asset configurations in the past, Billy recommends a waterproofing box to prevent it from happening again. Because we equip Anton with the right information at the moments that matter, he is happy he can complete his work on the first visit with limited intervention. Anton searches his truck for the waterproofing box that Billy has recommended and quickly realizes that he doesn't have any on hand. At his previous employer, this almost always meant that he needed to create a part order and finish the job at a later date. He is elated by the fact that he can search the inventory of nearby technicians to see if someone has the part and is available for transfer. He sees that Allison is nearby and has the part on hand. He opens a chat with her where he can ask her for that part and even perform the stock transfer. And now that Anton has the ability to find the right parts to finish his work, he can do the job right the first time and feel more accomplished from the increased productivity. Upon completing his work list on the first go and even going the extra mile to prevent further issues down the road, Anton has become a trusted advisor to Lisa. She believes he understands her business and the outcomes that she is trying to achieve. This means Anton is uniquely positioned to recommend strategic investments that will produce more positive outcomes for Lisa's facility operations. Anton presents Lisa with 2 sales recommendations and helps communicate the value each solution will bring. The first focuses on extending the existing warranty due to historical value. The second focuses on improving the current unplanned downtime with the upgraded service level. Lisa, who has become a fiercely loyal customer and trusts Anton, is convinced by the value of the upgraded investment and approves. So Anton, who despite being new and having limited sales experience, feels valued due to him simultaneously growing service revenue and improving Lisa's future asset performance, and of course, being compensated for going the extra mile. Due to him getting up to speed quickly, becoming independent, and adding value, his employee engagement is at an all-time high. Anton now has evidence that the rumors about the quality of life at Supremo are true, and he is invigorated with the prospect of making this his long-term home. So to recap, you saw some of the remarkable experiences and business value that the Connected Field Service Organization can realize. You saw how leveraging a prescriptive digital self-service experience can improve your customers' unplanned downtime and improve your self-service deflection, two very important factors in driving customer loyalty. You then saw how your technicians could leverage a connected and intelligent work execution experience and accelerate improvements to speed to competency, first-time fix rate, productivity, and upsell cross-sell rate, all of which drive improved employee engagement. Ultimately, you saw how Oracle is uniquely positioned to use connected data and experiences to drive business outcomes for two of the biggest value levers in your Connected Field Service Organization, your customers and your field technicians.
Thank you, Victor. That was an amazing example of how Connected Field Service improves the experience for both customers and employees. One of the challenges we hear about from service leaders is how to effectively deploy capabilities and best practices at scale, especially when you have massive mobile workforces spread out across large, sometimes global geographic areas. For our last segment of today's session, we're going to talk about how you can take everything you've learned today, as well as many other best practices from service teams around the world, and put it to work inside your business. To do that, we're joined by a couple of members of our Oracle Field Service Center of Excellence, Hamid and Borja. Hey guys, great to see you, and thank you so much for being here.
Today, we just wanted to take a moment to let you learn a little bit about the COE, who we are, how we were formed, and what we do. I was in the development side, or product management side, and we decided, why is it that we have so many customers that are either failing in implementation when we have the functionality to support them, or why are people not getting the full ROI out of the product? So we came to the idea of we would form a specialized team, the Center of Excellence, which is basically combines the highest level of experience anybody has on Oracle Field Service, put a team together to see if we could actually help customers both in the life cycle from the beginning to optimization and ongoing. Well, we do many, many different things, being the experts within the Field Service Cloud space, but three main areas. One is obviously the beginning, the foundation, the implementation of the product. So we try to get involved with the implementer and customer by doing first meet and greet to understand who it is that's working on it, what are the goals. But we have what's called a solution design document that was really designed to help guide the implementer down a path to make sure they're capturing the requirements correctly, understanding what the customer needs, and then defining what is the probable solution approach. The next big piece is really around optimization. So those are the customers that have been using OFS for a while, let's say at least a year. And we go in there and we would sit with the customer. We prefer to do this on site, 2 to 3 days. And we actually go there and really watch how they're using OFS product. And it's not just OFS, actually, we're looking at their old business line. A lot of our recommendations are not even specific to field service. It could be process oriented, other technologies, whatever. But we try to understand what they're doing and provide recommendations on how they can optimize, get more out of the OFS system. Either it's new modules, new features, new functions, enhancements of what they're doing. It varies all over the place. And the last but not least, actually fills in all the cracks of our time, is the expert support. So we support pretty much any we call certified field service resource, because we're not basic support, we are the expert support. So those that are certified, whether that's internal resources, partners, or customers, if they have come across a problem they can't resolve, then we will step in and try to assist them and guide them down to a solution. So those are the three areas, and it takes a lot of our time. That expert support goes all over, but the two biggest tasks are really the implementation support and the optimization reviews.
Usually for new customers, our goal is to be involved from the absolute beginning, from the moment that they start the journey with Oracle. The moment that we learn about the new subscription, we reach out via sales, or we reach out to the customer if we have any contact, or sometimes even through the partner, the implementation partner. We set an initial meeting with the customer, and during that meeting, the most important thing that we do is that we try to learn about their business. What are they trying to do with Oracle Field Service? We explain our role. Oracle is a complex organization. It's good for them to understand how are we related with the other organizations. And also we set the path for the future collaboration during the implementation. For customers that are already live, there's no project team. The way we work is that we are aligned, we keep aligned with the CSM team, with the customer success managers, so that we all collaborate to ensure that the customer has a successful journey. The way we define it is as we are providing global experiences with a local perspective. We try to always give the customer some personalized advice. And for that, we try to learn as much as possible about their specific business concerns, about what kind of things are local, what kind of things are particular for the customer. And then with that, we provide a targeted advice. That's why it's extremely important for us to remain informed on how the customer is utilizing Oracle Field Service. Also, a customer can always expect from us independent advice. Many times we start the introductory meetings telling the customers that we are not sales and we are not consulting. Our main goal is for the customer to make the best use of what they already have, not to sell them services. And finally, and not the least important, we like to also to be constructively disruptive. Especially with new customers, we always try to make them think about the way they operate. Is this the right way? Do you have a better way to do it? So we try to work with them to figure out if they need to change something or not.
OFS was designed to allow customers to be able to configure and own the systems themselves. We constantly try to get our customers to go through the training and be certified so they can manage the product themselves and not rely on expensive consulting costs or anything like that for maintenance, even for implementation, but mainly for maintenance and ongoing.
I think there's something common to all the customers, all the most successful customers that we have, is that they have created their own internal COE team, their own internal center of excellence. It's an internal expert task force composed by people from operations, from IT, specialized on a field service cloud with a complete understanding of the business goals of the company, of the KPI of the companies. So this is what we usually recommend. Create your own COE team. We expect from a COE resource, from an internal resource, to have obviously a certification on OFSC. That's extremely important, to have the knowledge about the system, about the last functionalities. Also to have a good analytical and communication skills to interact with the management in their own company, but also with technicians, with dispatchers, with all the multiple users that have our solution. And obviously a good understanding of the company full architecture and the company business goals.
We hope you would give a clearer picture of what it is we do, how we can help customers, and we look forward to hearing from you and all our customers to improve the ROI you're getting out of field service.
Thank you so much for sharing. That's great advice and insight. Well, that hour went by really quickly. Let's recap what we learned with these 3 key takeaways. Firstly, the customer experience is elevated when scheduling flexibility and digital self-service channels are readily available to reduce time and effort to resolve issues. Secondly, productivity and employee engagement increase when mobile workers have the tools to quickly find answers, get support, and locate parts, as well as having the ability to upsell products and services. Lastly, establishing a centre of excellence within your field service organisation drives a culture of innovation. This ensures that both the customer and employee experience remain a key differentiator for your business. So that wraps up our session today. If you are an Oracle Field Service customer and would like to get help with any of the capabilities you saw today, please visit the Oracle Help Centre, our Cloud Customer Connect site, or contact your Oracle representative. And if you're not an Oracle Field Service customer and would like to learn more, please hit the Contact Us button on this page and one of our team members will reach out to you. We really hope you enjoyed this session, and if you did, please share it with your colleagues. And for more field service content like this, please check out the links on this page for additional blogs, videos, white papers, and more. But once again, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for your time and have a fantastic day.